Day 2 of this war, and Israeli forces have still been battling pockets of Hamas gunmen.
Otomojia lelo sa konye akwapa na Israel nepepeka Palestine neda atwa katari lukumini luitunga le doltos nepetai akwata kanyare Israel osoda kwatauni Palestine kadai cheda lumambere kese nambe jenuna mamai chanchana pa kanwa dumnu kotomai dules alos ngajala kide video ngon kaneta Ido mami murokina subscribing, like, comment and share.
Hundreds of men, women and children gunned down in their cars, homes and at a rave. Dozens more captured and taken into Gaza. Israel is still reeling from yesterday's surprise attack by Hamas, which is designated a terrorist group by the UK, the US and the European Union. Shock too in Gaza, where 2 days of retaliatory airstrikes have led to hundreds of casualties. The army claims it's back in control of most areas of southern Israel, but it has continued to battle Hamas fighters in 8 towns. Israeli media says more than 700 Israelis were killed in the group's deadliest attack in 50 years of conflict. They include 44 soldiers. And at least 370 Palestinians have been killed in the densely populated Gaza Strip, where Israel's airstrikes have destroyed whole apartment blocks. The fighting has also drawn in Lebanese militant group Hezbollah. The Iran-backed group exchanged fire with Israel on Sunday after launching rockets and shells at 3 Israeli positions in the disputed Sheba Farms area. Hezbollah said the attack was in solidarity with the Palestinian people. And an Egyptian policeman has opened fire on Israeli tourists in the city of Alexandria, killing 2 of them and their Egyptian guide. Let's go live now to our foreign correspondent, Secunda Kamani, who's by the Israel-Gaza border. Secunda.
Well, we're not far from the Gaza Strip, and we've been hearing very regular, loud thuds of Israeli airstrikes landing in Gaza. We've seen footage coming in of the impact of those airstrikes as they hit targets in Gaza too. We've also been seeing at times the Israeli Iron Dome defense system intercepting some of the missiles, the rockets, I should say, fired out of Gaza by Hamas. And what's really unprecedented, though, about the situation that we find ourselves in now is the way that Palestinian gunmen have infiltrated over the past 2 days into Israeli territory, moving through Israeli towns, shooting and abducting civilians. It's been a massive security failure, a massive intelligence failure on the Israeli side. It's also led to the single deadliest incident for Israeli civilians in the country's history. And the assault isn't over yet. In the nearby Israeli town of Sderot, well, residents there have been warned by security forces to stay at home whilst they search for remaining gunmen. Of course, there's also a huge amount of fear for the 2 million or so people living in the Gaza Strip. We're not allowed to travel into the territory, though we do have a colleague filming for us who's based there. He and other residents are not allowed to leave Gaza. It seems almost inevitable that in the coming days there's going to be a major ground offensive targeting Gaza, a warning that our report contains some distressing images.
Day 2 of this war, and Israeli forces have still been battling pockets of Hamas gunmen. Reports of fresh infiltrations by militants, terrifying residents in southern Israel. Despite its military strength, Israel seems to be struggling to assert full control over its territory. Heavy airstrikes are pounding the densely populated Gaza Strip, with rockets still being launched from there. Israel's Prime Minister has vowed there will be no respite as the country reels from its deadliest attack in decades. Israelis want revenge. In the small town of Ofakim, residents vent their fury on the abandoned vehicles used by the militants, setting one on fire.
This gives you a sense of the level of anger there is in Israel right now. One of the guys who set that car on fire just told us if Prime Minister Netanyahu doesn't wipe Gaza out, he should leave the country.
Dozens of people were killed here, and just after we leave, clashes erupt nearby. The unprecedented, coordinated assault with Hamas fighters flying over the border fence or bulldozing through it began yesterday morning. Gunmen rampaged through Israeli communities. In shocking videos, dozens of hostages, including women and children, are shown taken back into Gaza. Israelis have never been hit like this before. Underlining just how little a threat most Israelis saw emanating from Gaza, thousands had been attending an open-air rave not far from the border. Then there was panic as the militants attacked. Roy was there and thought he would never escape alive.
So how many bullets? Three? Two?
One in and out, and one still in my stomach.
We hid under a truck and played dead. When the terrorists came, they wanted to make sure we weren't alive, so they shot me and my two friends. They both passed out. I hope and pray that they are still alive, but I just don't know.
Outside a hospital in the southern city of Beersheba, desperate parents are looking for their children. 22-year-old son was also at the rave. He called his mother when he heard rockets being fired. She told him to run, but hasn't heard from him since.
Police, army, anyone, just bring me my boy. Nobody's telling us anything. What kind of country is this? I was in the hospitals. I can't find my son anywhere.
In response, Israel has launched a ferocious bombing campaign on Gaza. Entire streets have been reduced to rubble. This is one of the most densely populated places in the world, and everyone here feels under attack.
We, like everyone here, are being oppressed. Under the fire, the bombing, all night long. This building, 80 families lived here. You're talking about a whole neighborhood. A whole neighborhood. 80 homes.
The death toll here has been rising and will continue to do so as this assault intensifies.
Alright, Devi Media Uganda is a Jokane Mamro Kinatirore notification bell, subscribe, like, comment and share. Alama, bye bye.